Hey, you. Can you see us? Why won't you answer? I'm asking you a question. Yes, you on the other side of the monitor. Your silence only strengthens my hypothesis. I suppose that, from your perspective, it appears that we are the ones inside the monitor. But that's where you're wrong. For it is you who are inside. Your reality is nothing but lies and shadows. Naturally, that includes you, too. True reality is on this side of the screen. Don't believe me? I don't blame you. Few are those who can handle the truth. But no matter. I shall speak in simpler terms, easy enough for even you to understand. This is the Future Gadget Laboratory, located in the Akihabara district of Tokyo. We call it simply the lab. Our purpose is to shatter the system and plunge the world into chaos. Really? You shouldn't do bad things, Ocarin. Quiet. I'm a mad scientist, remember? From the station, head down to Chudori until you reach Suorocho Station, then take a left onto Kuramabashi Dori. In the alley before the traffic light, you'll find the run-down Ohiyama building. The lab is on the second floor. On the first floor is a store of ill repute called the Brawn Tube Workshop. You can't miss it. It deals exclusively in CRT monitors of all things. Can you imagine? Even in the heart of Akihabara's electric town, the demand for CRTs is practically non-existent. But the proprietor of the Brawn Tube Workshop, Tsunuji, is also the owner of the building. That's how he can afford to maintain his ridiculously niche hobby shop, even as land value continues to rise. He may seem a rough sort, but he was no match for my charisma. Now the entire second floor is mine for next to nothing. I digress. The Future Gadget Laboratory is currently experiencing a severe shortage of manpower. We welcome dedicated scientists from all fields to apply. At present, our researchers are... Ocarin, you've got to say lab mems, not researchers. Lab mems, laboratory members, are 3. I am the founder of the Future Gadget Lab, Lab Mem number 001, the insane mad scientist Hoin Kyoma. Ocarin is cuter though. Next, we have our resident cosplayer and only female member, Lab Mem number 002, Shina Mayuri. Tuturu, call me Mayushi. I like making costumes more than wearing them. And last, we have our resident super hacker, Lab Mem number 003, Hashida Itaru. Stop calling me that, it's super hacker, duh. Here at the Future Gadget Laboratory, we devote ourselves to the art of invention. For details, see our lab's homepage. Our top priority, of course, is to develop weapons for the war with the Dark Dominion. For that, research has spawned a number of offshoot inventions. In fact, that's all it spawned. Our arsenal of future gadgets is up to 8, but this is just the beginning. I have a total of 108 inventions to create. Like in that tennis manga, right? I get it. No, it's the number of earthly desires in mortals, you at-channel junkie. And I thought I told you not to interrupt me when I'm talking. Yeah, I wouldn't want to interrupt you talking to yourself. I'm not talking to myself, can't you see? I'm talking to the person behind the monitor. Ah, he just grinned. What are you grinning about, darn you? You don't even exist outside that monitor. Just say, don't look at me. I don't think that's gonna work. It appears our attempts to communicate have failed. It's sad to see someone so deeply in denial of reality. Maybe they think we're in the game. I doubt it's even occurred to them. But aren't your 2D girlfriends the same way? That's different. Those girls are my wives. Nobody cares about your harem. But Mayushi touched upon a very interesting theme, you know? What if we're actually just characters in a game? Any way we can know for sure? No. Come on. Such questions are meaningless. Our time is better spent thinking of ways to destroy the system. Nice chunibyo, bro. Step back from the monitor. Displayed on the screen is the ugly cute character, Alpaca Man. This is a game called Alpaca Man 2, where you speak to Alpaca Man via microphone and watch him react. The game exploded in popularity when it was released 10 years ago, but personally, I find only the ugly part of ugly cute to be true. I bought it yesterday, 500 yen used, headset included. I turned to Daru with a menacing glare. Shut it, hacker. I'm no Chunabyo patient. I am foil Kyoma. That's your character's name, right? Oh, Daru, your communication skills are beyond repair. I'll have you know, I go to a ton of offline meets, and I'm always the life of the party. This fat, bespectacled guy is my brother-in-arms and right-hand man, Hashida Itaru, nickname Daru. He has 2D wives on whom he cheats with 3D maids. I don't agree with his preferences, but to him, anything's fine as long as it's not moe. He's the reliable and skilled partner who brings my ideas to fruition. Despite his insistence that software is his forte, he shows remarkable aptitude with hardware as well. Ow, the needle bit my finger. This ditzy girl is in charge of the lab's official costume division for women, and today she's working costumes at her usual leisurely pace. Unfortunately, I have no idea if the costumes are well made or not, because I don't know what the characters are supposed to look like. Why does the future Gadget laboratory need costumes for women? It doesn't. The truth is that Mayuri is completely useless. Still, there's no way I would ever kick her out. After all, she was the first one to join the future Gadget laboratory. I still remember the day Mayuri first came to the lab. It was spring. She said to me, Mayushi is Okurin's hostage. I belong here. To me, her offer was my salvation. So, did Alpaca Man say anything? Nope, nothing. The human-faced alpaca inside the monitor was completely unresponsive, so unresponsive you'd think the game was bugged. Damn antisocial alpaca! The TV makes a sound like it shorted, and then the screen goes blank. I change the channel. Nothing. Check the power cable? Nothing. Whack it again? Nothing. I guess it's broken. Damn. This crummy TV is on lease from the Brawn Tube workshop downstairs. It's probably just old. You made Mr. Alpaca angry. Damn, I'll have to get it repaired later. I turn off the TV and look out the window. I can't stand the humidity of Japanese summers. Blessed by a slight breeze blowing through my window, I gaze far out into the horizon. I close my eyes. And what naturally comes to mind is that impossible scene I saw an hour ago. They're gone. And it wasn't just the people on the street. The people in the stores. Gone. In the restaurants. Gone. Even the cars vanished. Drivers and all. And it all happened in the blink of an eye. Suddenly, an empty city spread before me. Heat was rising from the asphalt in waves, but I only felt a cold chill down my spine. Then, wandering through the deserted Akiba, I saw a satellite smashed into the rooftop of Radican. I just stood there, breathless, until... What's wrong? Mayuri's voice brought me back to reality. Mayuri hadn't disappeared. Everyone's disappeared just now, right? Huh? You saw it too, right? Just now, before our very eyes. Did you see it, Mayuri? You saw it, right? I didn't see anything. You didn't? You saw nothing? Nothing at all? There were people here a second ago, weren't there? There were? Even the store employees are gone. That's impossible by any measure. Of course they are. Her reply didn't make any sense. It was like this when we got here. Oh, I know. You're seeing things, aren't you? I'm sure it's because of the heat. Toot-toot! How could she laugh at a time like this? I always thought she was a bit strange, but maybe her brain is actually broken. I realized that she couldn't help me. With nowhere else to turn, I looked up at the bright blue sky. Naturally, my eyes drifted to the top floor of Radican, where I had been just a moment before. There it was, an enormous machine, like some kind of satellite embedded in the roof of the building. The same building where, just moments before, I had found Makase Kurisu's body in a pool of blood. What happened to her? Has anyone called an ambulance? Just before everyone disappeared, I could have sworn I heard an ambulance siren. Makase Kurisu might still be in that dark room, cold, bloody, and alone. The thought disturbed me, but the question at the forefront of my mind was... What the hell is that satellite doing there? Satellite. Right before Dr. Nakabachi's presentation, the building was shaken by an unknown force. The roof door lock had been broken, and beyond it sat a large, satellite-like machine. That's right. When I saw it, the object was neatly sitting on the rooftop. But that's not what I was seeing now. The satellite had penetrated the top floor of the building. It looked as if it had completely obliterated the room where Dr. Nakabachi's press conference had been held. It must have fallen out of orbit without burning up in the atmosphere somehow. I knew it was crazy, but what other explanation could there be? The real question was, when did that happen? Mayuri, about that satellite. Yep, what a surprise, huh? What do you mean? What was a surprise? It made a huge kaplow sound. It certainly did make a sound, but I don't think it was kaplow. I'd say it was more like zzz, like the roar of an earthquake. Did that satellite fall out of the sky? Did it? Do you think any aliens were on board? Had I lost my mind? What I had seen didn't match at all with what Mayuri was saying. Suddenly, nothing seemed real. Had I dreamt it all? I caught the attention of a policeman trying to cordon off the scene and tried to tell him about the stabbing of Makise Kurisu, but no one got stabbed at Radican, he annoyingly insists. What? How could he say that with such certainty? We were escorted up to UPX and released. There were people at UPX like usual. And that brings us to the present. I'm baffled. Did the whole hour since the beginning of Nakabachi's presentation really happen? I check online for any news. The net is buzzing about the mysterious machine that crashed into Radican. No one has mentioned anything about the disappearance of hundreds of people from Akiba's streets, nor about Makase Kurisu's murder. It's all a mystery. A mystery? I see. So that's it. This is all an elaborate cover-up by the organization. Their influence has corrupted local law enforcement, which means our entire government may be already under their control. My god. But they underestimated me, for I am not so easily played. One day I will expose their deeds and put an end to their reign. Having come to a satisfactory conclusion, I take a celebratory bottle of Dr. P, my favourite soda, from the fridge. Ah, Elixir Intellectualis, a drink fit for a genius. Cola's better. Ocarina really loves his Dr. P. I pity the man who knows not the greatness of this beverage. Step through the curtain dividing its centre, and you'll enter the heart of the future Gadget laboratory, a top secret development room restricted only to lab members. Personally, I'm not fond of this cheap curtain. I often dream of replacing it with an airlock, but our research budget is already scraping the bottom of the barrel. Besides, what's important isn't money, it's ambition. All of the windows here are weather stripped with packing tape, so it's dim. And hot. Almost like a sauna. I've been wanting to buy an air conditioner for the lab, but there's no money for that. We're currently accepting donations. Daru, is the plan progressing smoothly? Oh, what plan? I sigh and turn his attention to the table in the middle of the room. Sitting majestically on top of the table is a commercial-grade microwave oven. It's significantly larger than newer home models. The plan, as in the plan. Obviously, I'm talking about perfecting Gadget number 8. Oh, that. How was I supposed to know what you meant? We've known each other for what, 3 years now? We went to high school together, and now we're going to the same university. We share an inseparable bond like prison cellmates. He's only been a lab member for 2 months, though. We were in different classes junior year, and actually, we didn't talk at all, so 2 years? Details. The point is, we've known each other a long time. I expect you to keep up with me here. N-O-P-E. Man, all I wanted to do was have one of those cool cryptic conversations where we talk about plans and preparations and other important sounding stuff, but no one really knows what it means except us. So, are we any closer to figuring out what's wrong with Gadget number 8? Not yet. So far, the future Gadget laboratory has completed a total of 8 inventions. As I explained to Alpaca Man, the lab's primary goal is to develop weapons for the war against the Dark Dominion, led by the organization that rules the world from the shadows. At present, we haven't completed any inventions of that sort. On the contrary, we haven't even figured out what we should make. But along the way, we have managed to create some ingenious, futurish gadgets as a byproduct of our research. It is a fundamental truth of science that great inventions are often created by accident. In other words, serendipity. So far, they total 8 in number. Gadget number 1, the bit particle gun. Gadget number 2, the bamboo helican. Gadget number 3, could this be Aura Aura? Gadget number 4, Mode Snake. Gadget number 5, once again I've made a worthless object by Gobon. Gadget number 6, the Scialoon Saber, gadget number 7, Ghost in the Ball. Anyway, our current problem is future gadget number 8, the phone wave, name subject to change. Phone wave is a pretty weak name, so I've added name subject to change to the end until we come up with something better. For the record, it was Mayuri's idea, not mine, but I digress. The phone wave, name subject to change, is, in short, a remote-controlled microwave. A few days ago, however, we discovered that the phone wave, name subject to change, has a second, unintended capability. Our brave, or possibly just ditzy, Mayuri had made it her daily routine to heat some frozen fried chicken by remote control. Long story short, she was defrosting her beloved juicy chicken number 1 as usual when the unexpected happened. The chick came out more frozen than when she'd put it in. The microwave refroze the chicken. Bear in mind, the frozen chicken had almost thawed by the time she placed it in the phone wave, name subject to change. But when she removed it, it was frozen solid. Since then, Daru and I have been searching for the cause. We tried copying what Mayushi did, but we just can't reproduce the freezing phenomena. And when we tried to freeze a banana, it turned out really weird. I just don't get it. Mayuri, bring forth the bananas! Are you gonna turn them into gel bananas again? That's been bugging me, Mayushi. Can you stop calling them gel bananas? But gel bananas are gel bananas. Whatever, get moving. Why do you have to use the whole bunch? It's a waste of food. You take the bananas from Mayuri and stick the whole bunch into the phone wave, name subject to change. Your stinginess could cost us the battle with the organization. That's fine with me. Mayushi always buys the bananas, and now Mayushi can't eat a single one. Next time, we'll only do one banana. The phone wave, name subject to change, is simple to use. It's a microwave with a phone taped on. The number is already in my address book. I just need to call the phone wave. I waste no time. The call connects in an instant. Hello, this is the phone wave, name subject to change. This is the voice of Mayushi Guidance, the system Daru programmed to operate the phone wave. Do you hear Mayushi's voice? Be quiet, I'm trying to listen. You can operate the timer from this menu. After pushing the hash button, please enter the heating time in seconds. For example, press hash 60 for 1 minute. For 2 minutes, press hash 120. Entering the command properly will cause the phone wave, name subject to change, to function like a normal microwave. Instead, we're going to deliberately mess up and enter 120 hash. That should do it. This method was originally a simple mistake on Mayuri's part, but it somehow starts the freezing process. The phone wave, name subject to change, comes to life. Nice turntable, right? It's even spinning backwards. Backwards? That might have serious implications. If we look at quantum critical behavior driven by Hund's rule... Yeah, no. Not Hund's rule. No. Okay. The three of us wait and stare at the spinning bananas. After 120 seconds pass, the microwave chimes. Gel bananas are ready! After Mayuri discovered that the phone wave, name subject to change, had a freezing function, we attempted to freeze a bunch of bananas. This is what happened. It just gets more confusing each time. Daru. You wouldn't mind eating one of these, would you? Of course you wouldn't. It's for science. Your sacrifice will forever be remembered. They look really nasty. The taste doesn't matter. What matters is that you eat it. So come on, Daru. No need to be shy. Break a leg or a stomach and go for it. No way. Fine, Miori. The honor shall be yours. But Chobana's are all gloopy, droopy, soft and squishy. Wait, she already tried one? This girl's ditziness is truly on another level. It had no flavour and wasn't tasty at all. Gloopy? Droopy? Soft and squishy? Daru, what do you think? Soft and squishy bananas, huh? Soft and squishy banana. Mayushi, say your banana's all soft and squishy for me. Your banana's all soft and... Don't make her say that, you perv! In any case, there's nothing we can do about it now. It's time for Daru and I to head to Daibiru. There's going to be a seminar at ATF, and we have to be there. Tokyo Denkai University, where Dara and I go to school, collaborates with ATF to set up satellite classes. Summer credits, basically. We have to attend the seminar and write a report. Come to think of it, what's today's seminar about again? I looked it up before the summer holiday began. I should have written it down. Behind me is the large, unidentified object that crashed into a building near Akihabara Station. The building is under police barricade. No one is allowed to approach, but from a distance, the object appears to be some kind of satellite. New message. You know, I'm really sad about dropping my Upa. It's worse than last year when I missed buying Fatty Geo Froggy. It's from Mayuri. Responding to every last aspect of a message is a waste of time. I should just pick one topic to respond to, or maybe I won't reply at all. That's the one from last year, right? I thought you weren't interested. There, that should do it. Man, feel that AC! I'm alive! Unlike the lab, Daibiru has air conditioning, making it an oasis for poorer students like us. Yet another reason for our diligent participation in the seminar. About the phone wave, name subject to change. I might have found our answer. You know, that name subject to change thing is really annoying. I won't give in that easily. Even if no other lab members use name subject to change, I will carry on until the day we decide its true name. Now's not the time. So, what's your latest ridiculous theory? What do you mean ridiculous? My genius brain considers every possibility, even those a lesser mind would say break the laws of nature. Don't you dare call that ridiculous. So basically, you're just pulling stuff out of your ass. You can't call that science. Stop interrupting me. At this rate, I'll never get to my point. Daru, I have a hunch that the phone wave, name subject to change, may be the key to opening Steins' gate. How's that? Steins what? You lost me back at ridiculous, man. Let me share my revelations about the phone wave, name subject to change, damn you! My brilliant ideas will clearly find no purchase with Daru. Time to change the topic. So, you're telling me you have no interest in checking out Redicon? I won't get to see anything anyway. Besides, most of the info's out on the net already. There's more than 100 threads on that channel. It's nuts, dude. But when I ask him if there's any information about Makase Kurisu on that channel... That again? What do you mean, again? I mean, you sent me that email like a week ago, right? I sent you an email?